Good afternoon, everyone. I just finished my project version. I did work on my I'm not able to put it last, but I also like to reach that. That's my main goal. So, the presentation is about the case I was checking the past. And it's mainly this focus
I think little loud would help us. Someone little loud.
Yes, sorry. So, consumer behavior is very critical role to determine economic sustainability and businesses today dynamic market management. Understanding the customer is one for our business. This is how we can build up the future for our business. Fostering economic sustainability through increased customer loyalty, brand equity. So my aim was to identify the key characteristics of context expecting and check out. And the methodology what I used, it was focused search in existing English index publication. I was able to locate 98 scholarly articles from the past 20 years. However, I have to say, I used a very huge article which was published more than 20 years ago. So the historical significance, it was So consumer behavior. When we talk about consumer behavior, we can say it's phenomenon, but it's connected to different variables such as attitude, motive, activity. Other academics define consumer behavior as complex activity, what people do in their everyday life when they consume some product. And when they consume the product, they're looking for to satisfy their desire by exchanging something for a product or service that they really want. Also, we can identify consumer behavior in the process. There is no universal rule how many stages of this consumer behavior process. However, based on academics, I can identify the Scotland need recognition, information search, evaluation, alternatives, purchase decision, post-purchase behavior. That was the most common that I found. Also, other academics like David said is break down 4 main stages like need, learn, buy, and void. But because I'm focusing specifically on the hotel sector, are the anticipation before the trip, consumption during the trip, and the recollection of memories after the trip. So at the moment, because we're focusing check-in and check-out, this is a consumption process. And because this process is variable, there are certain factors that can influence this process. This process connected variables that consumers seeking to evaluate the encounter with the service provider. It is essential to identify critical influential factors of a consumer behavior. And the first one, I identified 6 direct influential factors, but the first one is the service and the anticipation of the consumer. When we talk about anticipation, we can define anticipation as an expansion of the horizon and the revolution of the perception of reality. Or we can say anticipation as the sole means by which the future is manifested in the present. So again, emphasize in the hotel sector, the service and the anticipation is critical because of the gap between the initial thought about the service and the actual experience of it. So if the quality of travel is met to exceed the consumer anticipation, they have positive results which most likely foster trust. In order to provide exceptional service, the business have to highlight why is better than others, why the customer have to choose our hotel rather than go to another. And we come abroad with the first impression. Academic indicate the first impression has increased confidence. First impression is the early judgment of an individual based on the initial sense. The formation of first impression is happening naturally from perception originating from human-centered process. And it can happen within the time of the second. When we deeply go into the first impression, we're going to find that facial because facial expression is crucial visual perception. According to Matsumoto, there are 7 basic emotions of the facial expression. Therefore, if we want to create a positive first impression, the use of positive facial expression is essential. Significant number of researchers indicated the smile are an influential social factor that affect positive interpersonal perception in many forms. The smile has been used as a tool of marketing to generate positive consumer perception. Second one was the body language. In the world of emotions, our facial expression, posture, gesture, and attention. When our surrounding offers the unspoken communication, encompassed within the individual, not the spoken word. We consider what we do. That was praised from Regent. Body language is another form of emotional expression. For instance, concentrating on the display posture by standing straight with the shoulder back can create an impression of confidence. Another influential factor is the tone of voice. The tone of voice has a significant impact in the interpretation of spoken word. The tone of voice is similar to the body language and has the potential to influence the interpretation of the word that someone speaks. In certain situations, the way the person speaks, such as their tone of voice, can be more important than the actual word they are saying. The tone of voice may convey more emotion, intent than the literal meaning of the word. Being spoken, and many tasks have a greater impact on the listener. One research suggests that during the COVID-19, it was important between the doctors and the relatives of their patient have to use a calm tone of voice. Because with a calm tone of voice, they will suggest the professionalism and they reduce the anxiety while they increase the acceptance of the individual. And another factor, the waiting time. Generally, we do not like to wait. And based on academics, yes, waiting time generally negatively impact the quality of the service and they have a significant impact on the causes. However, some of the academic indicate people from different cultures may not view waiting time as a factor in their satisfaction. Emphasize waiting experience could be characterized as an existing or non-existing factor. Also, other academic highlighted the connection between time guarantee and the consumer satisfaction. Consumer more satisfied if they know they have the guaranteed check-in. Like many hotels, they do have guaranteed check-in time, and this makes more happier the consumer. However, violating the guaranteed check-in, it's more harsh the consumer or the company is violating this guaranteed time. And the atmosphere is essential as well. What we can say about the atmosphere is a deliberate creation of specific surroundings through the design of space with the intention of influencing buyer behavior. In order to create an atmosphere, there are 3 critical elements. One will be the ambient factor, another one is social, and the third one is the design factor. I would like to highlight the social factor, which is depending on the employee itself. The social factor reflects the employee who need to be aware of how their position and contribution affect consumer experience. That but not least communication. When we talk about communication, we talk about from the perception, from the angle of the consumer. Because the consumer, whatever is happening with them, they're gonna address like word of mouth or in this digitally, the electronic word of mouth. They can reach out millions of consumers. They can tell they were happy or they were not really happy with the service during the check-in or during the checkout. And in conclusion, I'll just try to put together how these influential factors going through in the system between the check-in and the checkout. And there is direct influential factors like the 6 what I just introduced before. And there is an indirect factor which can affect anticipation of the consumer. The indirect is in the communication when they're going to address, they weren't really happy during the stay, so they go back in the loop. And whenever in the consumer behavior, in the process of searching or evaluating, it can affect the consumer. And maybe he's not going to choose that hotel what we would choose before, but we find out because some problem, so they every week and find another one. And why I choose this topic and why I found important to focus on accountable behavior. For closing remarks, I would like to quote from Mark Montgomery. Customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our world. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. We are not doing him a favor by telling him. He is doing us a favor by giving us an opportunity to do so. And that's the presentation. And also just all that references
Louis, open for questions.
Can I just, I'm just asked a question from a hotel user point of view.
Yes.
And one of the issues that I personally have always experienced is the problem of the proficiency level of staff that is linked to staff retention. So staff retention, if you keep them long enough, they become skilled and really take forward the image of the hotel. Regretfully, I find that there's a huge gap now between the competency level of individuals working in hospitality, and I believe the link is with the problem with the sort of sustainability of the workforce. Perhaps.
I agree with you, and also because we are social environment. When we go into the hotels, we want this nice stuff.
Of course.
And we don't want facing bad experience. Also, when we have actually some of the 5-star hotels, we pay so much in money, and it doesn't matter we going for business trip or leisure, still we expecting the high level of service. There is a gap, unfortunately. I think the management has to retaining the staff and give them the proper training in order to achieve their sustainability.
I think it's a variable that should be built into your perhaps projected results and analysis. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.